Yeah. Well, hey everybody. Guess what? Show's a few minutes late tonight. Technical difficulties, I guess you might say. Anyway, hey, we're going. Hope everybody's doing okay. Let me might help if people could see. Alright, we'll just kind of throw this thing together and let it fly and see what happens. Alrighty. How's everybody doing? Y'all can unmute your mics now.
No complaints, brother.
I'll leave you guys alone then and let the other guys on the show.
Yeah.
You got layouts coming together right quickly, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah.
Mine does occasionally move in spurts like that, and then it seems like there's months where it doesn't move very fast, and I get kind of discouraged every time. And then I'll have a little spurt where I can get a lot done, and I feel, that energizes me for a while.
Well, I'm about ready to hit a stopping point because got to put more flooring in yet.
More flooring. Are you in an attic or something? Is that where you're building?
Yeah. Right now I'm where there was already floor.
So how big is the total layout going to be?
Not really sure.
Okay.
I'm just working out of my head.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, a lot of longtime modelers who built layouts with with plans and all this have said next time they build a layout, it's going to be more seat of their pants and enjoy it more. But I've heard Lionel Strang say that a couple times. That next time he builds a layout, he's just going to build enough bench work to put a circle of track around the room, run some trains, start doing some scenery, start enjoying it. When he decides he wants to do something different in an area, he'll throw some turnouts in. And I know me and Johnny have talked about that not being the ideal way to build a layout, going back and cutting turnouts in after the fact. Not at all, especially if you have any kind of plan. And really the problem with that is if you're constrained by space, if they're trying to fit in a tight area. If you got a big open area and you're not worried about being space efficient, and the turnout can move around and stuff, it works. You can do that because, if you can't put the turnout right there because of an alignment issue, cut a couple feet of track out, figure out where the turnout goes, patch it back in. That's doable.
Yeah, kind of what I got. I got a pretty wide open space here. So.
I'm envious. I've been thinking about taking mine. I have a space. I keep wanting to have it here at the house, but we own our office building, and we sublet to ourselves, of course, and to several other tenants as well. We've got, I don't know, 15 or 16,000 feet, something like that, maybe 18,000 square feet. But there's a section above the body shop. We rent to a body shop in the back part of the it's like a strip mall, and at the back part there's a body shop at the far side, at the back part, and above his garage it's 30 wide by 64 long, and it's at a 10-foot ceiling, 9-foot ceiling, and it's completely empty and vacant. I'd have to insulate it because it's just open stone walls, and other than the fact that all my hobby stuff would then be at work where I already spend a whole lot of my time, it's sure a very inexpensive way to get a lot of room.
Yeah, I don't think your lady sees that.
That's been the argument. That has also been a very, very valuable bargaining chip when she growls about the master bedroom. Well, honey, I'll move it to the office. We'll take our master bedroom back, no problem. I'll just stay up there and work with my trades, when I can work on them. So, needless to say, I still have the master bedroom. So, I count that as a win.
Well, let's see. Oh, Michael is asking where he can get trash cars. That's railroad trash hauling cars. Can't find them. Probably open gondolas. Just use those.
Yeah.
I think somebody on Shapeways was making them.
Yeah, he's asking, or do they have to be custom? I wouldn't think they'd really have to be custom. Just use an open gondola car, just like they would for scrap metal and all.
Unless he's talking about the ones for like the dumpsters and stuff, where they stack the dumpsters.
He's talking about railroad cars.
Yeah.
That haul trash.
There's ones where they put like the dumpsters on the flat car type deal.
The big roll-offs.
They roll-offs and they haul them off, and the car's designed to dump them off.
I've never seen anything like that.
Somebody posted some pictures like of that not too long ago, I think, in one of our Facebook groups. And I think they were custom making them though. And I think I've seen some on Shapeways before.
Yeah. Well, I never claimed to be an expert about it or anything, so I mean, I've never seen anything like that before.
Either right.
I think was it New York or something like that. Train clears out.
Yeah, Michael said like box cars but have high sides. They're like box cars but have high sides.
He's talking about something similar to like a wood chip car.
A wood chip car, yeah.
And several people make wood chip cars, but they're quite log. Although a lot of companies, the wood chip business, took old coal hoppers that either didn't meet the AAR standards for interchange or some other reasons, or had the sides beat up pretty good on them, and they would extend the tops of them. Originally with wood planking, and then later with steel sheets. So they vary a lot between railroads, and you can take any hopper at a 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch of styrene, run around the top of it, put some ribs on it, you're good to go.
Yeah, AJ said New York City ships out its garbage in custom containers on flat cars.
New York City.
And we put ours in containers on transports, well, the transport trailer, and ship it down to the States.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's
You're trash.
Hey, listen.
Don't
That's
think
right.
that we don't appreciate your business.
Yeah. That was a bone of contention a long time ago, but they wanted it. We
Why
put
doesn't that
bids
surprise
out to who wanted to take the garbage or who would take the garbage, and I think it was Michigan took it. I can't remember now.
I am so not going to comment on that.
I'll leave it at that.
Ralph, I'm using your coffee cup tonight.
My coffee cup?
That's my good Quebec coffee cup.
Okay.
I got a friend in Montreal who sent me this as a souvenir, or brought me this as a souvenir when they were down visiting a year or so ago. I just pulled it out of the cabinet and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll use that time.
Yeah, somebody was saying in their wood chip cars use those, and he said, yeah, he said he couldn't find wood chips. Just take an open gondola and put some styrene on it and brace it. You know, extend the top up a little bit.
Yep.
Call it a garbage car.
Yeah. There's a few people who've made those. I think AccuRail made some of those high side standard length as opposed to the typical sawdust cars or whatever are typically like 80 feet long, 83, 85 feet long, something like that. They're long cars versus maybe they're not that long, maybe they're 55, but whatever, they're fairly long cars. And I think what he's looking for is standard length on offer.
IT researchers to develop this new schedule, so it must be good. How could
Who's playing the video?
All right. So I'm working with the old-fashioned internet right now, and it was not very multimedia.
Yeah. Yeah, see, Jason's making granola bars.
Oh yeah. Looks like he's got chocolate cover there. Down here front too.
Some pain medication.
How you doing, Al?
Mr. Ball.
What's going on, Johnny?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Big
Hey,
Bill.
Eddie.
How you, man?
Look who else joined in.
Yeah, Big Bill.
Big Bill.
What's up, Bill?
Thumbs up.
Big Bill's thumbs here.
Now you see where Mark gets the thumbs up when he comes in.
I've heard of being all thumbs, but that's a little crazy there.
Yeah, bro.
All right, Dwight is asking, maybe I didn't hear about this, but why does my YouTube say rewind? I have no idea.
That's that annual rewind video that they make every year. It came out this week, and everybody's talking about it, and it's...
Yeah, all the hot YouTube vloggers and stuff all get together and do a thing.
People who are a lot more famous than any of us.
Yeah, people making millions of dollars on YouTube.
Right.
And sadly, Modular is not real conducive to those kind of YouTube numbers.
I was pretty insulted that I didn't make the cut, but you know.
Well, AJ, of course, has just put up here, YouTube has switched from digital to VH format. Be kind, rewind.
In here, I thought that only happened in Canada.
No, y'all don't have the corner on that market.
The kind part, possibly.
I'm looking at trash cars on just on Google Images, and these special made ones that they haul, like they were talking about in New York City, they look a lot just like intermodal cargo containers, only shorter and pretty heavy duty. I assume they compact them in there. But all the open ones literally just look like wood chip cars. They are fairly long.
Oh, really?
And
they're like the 89 foot or whatever, a wood chip.
Well, they're not quite that long, but maybe 79.
Okay, but they're not a regular 50-foot hopper.
No, they're tall. They're longer than that, and they've got the tall sides. Here's one that's on fire.
Oh.
Got me interested. I knew they did that, and I've seen those, but I never particularly looked at them before.
Uh-oh. Champ's got the invasion of the Munchkins up there at the layout.
Good stuff.
Future model railroader, right there.
That's right.
Yeah, we were just talking about that last night, too.
Yeah, she just discovered a new room in the house. Hey, I didn't know this was here. Well, hey, dude, how are you tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
Not bad, not bad.
Well, who's this Mr. Lidler fellow? How are you?
Good. I saw Big Bill pop in, so I figured I better pop in.
Dude, what's up, my brother from a different mother? How you been, dude?
Good. Good.
How's the automotive business? Did you buy into it?
Well, that's a long story. I'm no longer working for Mike.
Oh.
Yep, I took 6 months to try and buy him out after I got everything wrote up, a purchase contract and all that.
Right.
He got cold feet and he backed out of the deal. So one of my ex-employees contacted me and made me an offer to buy his place in a couple of years. So I went back to work for him.
Well, good for you. And have you sealed the deal? Are you married now or engaged?
Engaged.
And what is the date?
July 21st.
2018?
Yep.
All right, we're all coming.
I'll send you guys an invite.
Sure, we'll all show up. Get 2 extra tables.
Yeah.
Put the fire department and the police department on notice.
That's right. July. Oh, I'm sorry. July 14th.
Yeah, he said a day. He just didn't say the year.
No, see, what's funny about the whole thing is we set the 14th of July, and then we couldn't make those dates, so we had to go. We actually made it the 21st, and then we made it the 14th, and we couldn't do it the 14th, so we had to go back to the, vice versa. So it is the 14th.
Well, I tried to with my wife for a while. She mentioned setting a day, and then, for a couple of years, I argued over what year that day would land on. That didn't fly very well.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hear with the TV in the background. Somebody's got it on.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah. Dwight up here said, not even married yet, already forgot his wedding date.
Yeah.
It is pretty bad.
Well, we had a date set, and then we went to a different date, and then we went back to the date that we had set previously. So
yeah.
So we actually put a deposit down in the place that we're going to get married, so it's set. So we're gonna get married at a winery here in Lewiston. JD would probably like that.
Yeah. Seeing as California's already lost a lot of theirs.
Yeah, and I just noticed. I looked at a map now where all the fires that are burning down around Santa Barbara area. Shoot, this last summer, over half of the Northwest was on fire, and you know, it's like those people says, "Oh, it's just timberland." Well, what do you think's going to build all of your houses after they burnt down there? Nothing, because we don't have no timber left to build anything with.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, actually, the internet's pretty good tonight. It's not cutting out too bad.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, see, Australia's snuck in here, too.
Marty.
You see Bill Scobie, Scobie's layout is featured on Trackmaster TV this month.
Yeah.
Just the part one of it. It was a really good, I mean, I've seen...
I watched it.
Like I'm saying, it's one of my top few favorite layouts in the world. It's just so well executed. Well, it's very reasonably executed. It's very buildable. It's not eccentric or exotic. It's doable, but it's still hand laid track and all that. And so far, the first part of it is a really good.
And it's in the perfect scale.
For narrow gauge, I agree wholeheartedly.
S scale.
And he built it without a track plan.
And he uses the whole basement.
But he has the benefit, like I do, of, you know, people. I don't have a track plan per se either, or I have a track plan, but the Norfolk and Western already made my track plan. It's just a matter of how to bend it to fit the road. That's all he had to figure out as well.
But he even said it though. He was an HO3.
Yep.
Started by an SN3, and then he started just laying track. Yep. And he moved some stuff from where it originally at, but what's his face has a lot of videos on him. Chris Lyons.
Yeah, I've watched every one of those at least a couple times. Like I said, I love that layout.
Mm-hmm.
And it satisfies my narrow gauge curiosity to watch them every now and then, knowing that there'll be a day when I'll eventually get, you know, I'll be able to do a narrow gauge thing. Speaking of which, I want to mention that first, the videos that they put out on the new command control from ESU, U.S. market tested one. Those are a must watch for anybody. I've been saying that's just probably, if you want a commercial system, that's kind of the bee's knees right now, in my opinion.
Well, the interesting part is, for the past 6 years, they've been putting information into the decoder that really nobody can use until this command station came out, or if you had the ecosystem.
Yep.
And it would identify the chip that's in there and how it's programmed. You don't have to do a thing. You put it on the track, and the system identifies the loco and the horns and everything else that are in it it's programmed for.
And you can program anywhere on the layout anything, as opposed to at the moment we have, you know, limitations.
Aren't they supposed to be coming out with the full throttle steam this month?
It's out, isn't it? It's out already.
Not the steam, I don't think.
Oh well, they.
He said before Christmas. Now, whether it actually comes out before Christmas or not, I don't know.
Well, Trevor Marshall's been showing it off for at least 4 or 5 months.
Full throttle, diesel, not steam.
No, he's been showing it off on a little 060 or a small CN locomotive. Yeah. Now he has an econ system. He hangs out with Matt Herman and all that stuff, so he could have very easily got early access to that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd imagine he probably did. So.
Yeah, but that also could be not even be a full throttle decoder in that engine either.
Well, it don't have to be a full throttle. All it is a configuration.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it could be another decoder by them that they're just showing to use that system.
Yeah, and actually, it's actually all it really is. What it is, Mike Kopfelode had developed this way of custom configuring it. You could do it without them doing anything. You could modify the configuration in your ES2 decoder the way Mike Kopfelode did by using dynamic brakes on locomotives that don't have dynamic brakes and muting the sound effect for dynamic brake, allowing him to essentially put it into neutral while it's still sound-wise, while it's still moving at the stable speed. That's how he did that, was by using the dynamic brake channel or effect, by muting the sound effects. You could do that right now on any locomotive. What Full Throttle done is gave you a fully tested configuration that's easy to just stick on the decoder and away you go. Which really works well with their. Here's the thing I thought was so fascinating about the video and something I didn't know. It's going to allow me to argue in favor of this a lot more. You do not need their command station to use their throttles. You can use their throttles with JMRI, with the knob and everything. So I could use my DCC++ system and buy their throttles that have Android on them, have the buttons on them that I would program for, horn and something like that. And I would use the Full Throttle effects for the other two buttons, and then have that dial and the Android operating system on that throttle, and just have it speak over Wi-Fi. Because I was talking about building. Me and Chris and Robert, a few of us have talked at great length about building these things. But you can buy them.
Isn't the price still kind of hefty? Still, it's like $100 some bucks, isn't it?
It's $399, or is it $499?
No, just for the remote.
The remote?
No, you can't buy just the remote. It's the system.
No, you could buy just the remote.
You can buy just the throttle, and you could use just the throttle with your Digitrax system, as long as you run JMRI as an intermediary, because it will speak over the Wi-Fi using Engine Driver on Android and with the throttle with the knob. So it could be an Engine Driver throttle with the knob. I think it, whether you use command station or not, man, that is just, I think that is an exceptional move forward in the hobby, I think.
David said $235.99 for the remote.
Yeah.
And Jerry's asking the name of the company.
ESU.
ESU Lock Sound. LOK Sound.
Yeah, same people that make the Loc Sound decoders, Loc Sound, whatever decoders. And they've had a DCC system for a lot of years, the ECOS system, but it was kind of pricey, some $800 or $900, because it supported multiple protocols. Like DCC is a protocol, but it also spoke the Markland protocol and whatever other protocols that are other brand specific, in addition to DCC, and advanced add-on features to DCC that are only supported in the Loc Sound decoders. But I'm going to run all Loc Sound decoders anyway, so I get all those advanced feature sets if I have their command station. I don't know if I buy the command station or not. My argument is the throttles are just awesome. For steam. For diesel, I think I would want a proto throttle. Anybody seen those? Those are spectacular.
Mm-hmm. They're supposed to work on any system too, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just Wi-Fi. Speaking back to Jabber, so as long as you've got, if you use Martin's little contraptions he builds up using the Raspberry, the Sprague, and stuff together, for he probably raised his price to the to the price of a cheap car at this point, but try to buy himself a little free time so he can work on his own railroad. But no, for the few $100 you could spend on buying that system, you could use their throttle with it or the proto throttle.
Well, that proto throttle was expensive too.
Oh, it has to be.
It's not cheap. I looked at it, and I don't remember what the price was, but
it has to be expensive because of the sheer cost due to quantity. They're not going to sell it. That's a very specialty niche desire to have that throttle, and it's made independently as a single product by somebody. There's no way you can't get that cheap. You can't get that down. But in my case, I don't run a lot of diesels, but I am going to run a few. So I thought about buying one of them, run the few diesels I run with it, and then use the ESU throttles, because I've got a bunch of iPods, and the iPods I have for $250 a piece. I could buy the ECOS throttles for the same price as those iPods. I can sell those iPods and not lose much money, throw a few bucks with it, and have the ECOS throttles that are just. I'm pretty impressed.
So the ECOS system, the MSRP, the manufacturer's suggested price, is $799.90. For the ECOS.
That's the ECOS.
The main one.
Yeah, the one that does Markland. It has the 2 throttles and the touchscreen. The MSRP
it looks like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Zephyr with a touchscreen on it.
Well, John Z said the ECOS is $675.
So where is that price coming from?
He doesn't say.
Well, there may be a package that the command station and 1 throttle is MSRP $499. So you might find it a little cheaper, but it's new on the market. It's not going to be much less. But if you call it $500, you got a command station.
No, I'm not talking the new one. I'm talking the other one that used to be $1,000. It's down to $799.
Yep, and that's
MSRP.
You don't need walk around control. Or don't want walk-around control. That stationary system, much like the Zephyr in the Digitrax world, is a pretty spectacular piece of hardware. I just don't need that stationary thing, and don't care to pay for all the additional features like the Markland and all that stuff, because that costs money.
Well, David K. said $387.99 for cab control 2 at Tony's, and he has one on order.
All right, you got to come in and give us a review and let us know, because I like my plus system, and I know I'm going to buy some of the throttles. I know I'm going to do that, and I've very seriously thought about going ahead and buying the command station, because there are some advanced features with it supported only on the ESU on the Lokeside decoders that I can't get any other way but that. And it's, for me, if I'm already going to buy a throttle anyway, I'm out $200 or $300 to buy the command station effectively. Instead of just buying the throttle, I could buy the throttle at a.
Well, John said that was at SPS4DC.com.
Oh yeah. I'll check that out.
Yeah, and of course Dwight said use Ralph's discount at his hobby shop.
Yeah, right.
So is that a no?
Uh-huh.
It's not that late that Marty's here, is it? Jeez, I feel like it's supposed to be 2 o'clock in the morning since he's here.
I'm too big in the room, so they don't do anything on the layout. So I figured being as the show's recorded, we got recorded proof.
Oh.
But I do something other than make Raspberry Pis.
I think that's a recorded video. I really don't think you're working on your layout.
I think we have success.
You know, he talked about setting up a projector to do animated backgrounds once upon a time. I think that's what's going on with all the work going on behind it back there.
You're right.
He's been using a projector to fake us all, and he's just in a little closet with a white.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Seems plausible to me.
Huh? See if the jury has a verdict.
Yeah. I finally gave it up, went into town today. Got a bunch of stuff ordered from Amazon and all. Bought that new monitor and the wall mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wall mount's about 4 times heavier than the monitor is.
Yeah, that's the way they are. But a good wall mount's can be relatively heavy.
I still ain't got my fast tracks order.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
Well, I ordered everything about the same time. But the fast track's sitting here in Atlanta. It's all right. Been here for over a day, according to UPS. They're saying they're having operations difficulty.
That's confusing.
They had an employee walkout.
Well, the guy down there where my mailbox is, he said, because they said operations difficulty, it's probably a broke down truck, broke down conveyor belt. But he also said that Amazon has a 40% increase of deliveries this year over last year, and they're not quite prepared for that, FedEx or UPS.
Right, that makes sense. I would believe that. We're doing all of ours on Amazon pretty much, so.
So Amazon's turned around and they're using whoever they can to get deliveries done.
Yeah.
So Joe Blow delivery system. Wouldn't a saw work better, Marty?
Sorry?
Wouldn't a saw have worked better?
Duck cutters.
Oh yeah, I know, but wouldn't a saw have worked better?
Well,
I saw you have.
They're not allowed to have them in Australia.
It would have been more entertaining.
Well, I know why they didn't work, because you were holding them upside down.
I've been having that problem with my screwdrivers.
I knew a wisecrack like that was.
Yeah, those Tauruses sitting there and upside down, you ought to put some round cardboard around them, call them storage tanks.
That's how you mount. That's how the instructions said to mount tortoises in Australia.
Yeah, I wasn't going there, Marty. Yeah, we saw our buddy, yeah. I'll be darned. Somebody's headphones buzzing. I think it's going to be Ralph, seeing as he's got the same headphone as me. Now it quit.
Not me.
Might have been my mic.
No? Yeah, Andrew's been in this week on the nightly chat. Said he's been doing pretty good here lately.
Yeah, I was able to talk to him a couple of times, and he seems to be doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then look at the scary Santa's back.
Yesterday, I think, for a little while, and he started having internet problems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, doctors made him quit burning the candle at both ends, is what it is.
Well, he might still be burning a candle at both ends, but he's just hiding it very well.
Yeah.
There you go, Ralph. Keep you happy.
You're muted.
That's what I'm gonna use.
You're muted, Ralph.
That's for kids, Marty. That's not for model railroading.
Yeah, where's the chainsaw?
Oh my god.
Or the gas circular saw.
A gas circular saw?
Yeah.
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 You know what they call a K saw?
Work for air. That'll work.
Like a concrete saw.
Yeah.
Is there a metal saw? Don't you have one of them for your railroad? I have one of them for mine.
Yeah, slightly overkill for styrofoam, but
I actually have two. I have a still and I have a nice partner. One's up to do concrete, the other one's up to do steel. Works great for track laying.
and I suppose you're going to thermite. You thermite to solder the rail jointers, or weld the rail jointers.
I can't answer that question at this time.
Okay.
I may have bought a Miller welder to do my tracker work, but we're not going to go there right now.
If they work good, work over to it. Seems like you're buying into that philosophy, hook, line, and sinker. So,
well, I watched a lot of Home Improvement when I was a kid, so that's probably where it's coming from.
Yeah, the Tim Allen show.
Yeah.
That's where I get my inspiration for decorating my house at Christmas time.
Oh, I get mine from Christmas vacation.
Yeah. Here we go
Same
by the
principle.
Griswold lighting plant.
Yes.
Except we have ours in July.
I'll be back up in a minute.
You guys do everything backwards down there.
upside down.
Oh, whatever. Whichever way you want to look at it. Maybe they do it upside down and backwards.
That makes sense. Knowing Mark.
I mean, he is using the screwdriver in the wrong way.
Look at that. Beautiful piece of ductwork.
And the scary thing is the guy's an electrician.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice, Marty brought the tools out and his crew is not there.
No. I'm getting some video evidence so I can play back to them when they hear on the weekend that I actually did something.
No, you're not. It's for safety reasons. Just be honest, because you're using power tools.
All they left me was the drill.
Well, just don't drill your eye out, kid.
I noticed there's no bladed implements left for me to maim myself with.
That would be that Christmas story.
Yeah, exactly.
Red Rider, or whatever
Yes.
it was.
It's a classic.
BB gun.
It's classic.
Ralphie.
Yeah, there you go. Was that you, Ralph?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Did you grow up in Wisconsin?
No.
They say based on a true story, not just like the true story. So they changed the locations to protect the innocent.
The names and places have been changed to protect the innocent.
That's it. There you
Or
go.
the guilty, whichever way you
Or
want to
the
look.
guilty, however the case may be. Right. Yeah.
Alright, well, New Haven Rails said need some soldering done on some loose rail joiners. Any suggestions on brand of pliers I can use as heat sinks?
I use
Surgical forceps.
That's right. I really like forceps because they're so usable for other things. They're the best tool in the world to spike with. So they're already laying there. You might as well use them for soldering.
Or you get yourself a pair of needle nose pliers that have the turn down.
Yeah.
And like these ones have a spring on them. So you mount an elastic band around here to keep it closed. And all you have to do is put it on the rail, crimp it on the rail, and rest it on the rail.
Yeah. Hemostats work good too.
Isn't that what they're talking about?
Yeah, I like the hemostats.
Yeah, like Tim showing there.
Yeah, that's what I use. And that's what I use to spike with. But I use those really small scale spikes that are just doggone impossible to hang on to.
I think that curve's going to be turnback's a little tight there, Andy, for a train.
Yeah, it is. They're pretty sharp grade too. Woo! For a train, but then you got but the bridge is here, the roadbed bridge or the line, the Clinchfield rail bridge goes across this way, and prototype does something pretty similar to that. But back here, this is where it gets really fishy. This blocks it. This is the backdrop here, so you won't be able to see this. When you're standing over in that aisle over there, you can't see behind this. So you can see a little bit of the grade crossing, and then the road runs right into the hillside. So it's a lot of really weird stuff that don't look right from the angle I'm looking at it from. It only works because of the control of the viewing angle that I have with my highway there. But boy, it's a lot of railroad in just a very short period of time. All of it, none of this existed. None of this existed just,
3 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago or so.
Right. Yeah, so there's, and all of that, all out through there, all of this scenery going out around in front of where I got that piece of the foam core stuck up, that's the helix. And there's no track on any of that. So even as tight as I am on space, as straight as I am on space, I basically wasted that space because I wouldn't sacrifice the radius to go below the 30-inch radius or so I wanted. And these radiuses coming along through here are like 34, 36. I wouldn't sacrifice and go down to the 26 to get a track back over there. And I ended up wasting the space for scenery. But when you're standing in that aisle, you get you're standing in the aisle looking at the town, which is all photo backdrop behind it. And, you feel like you're completely encapsulated by the town. The road goes across there, comes off over there, just to be off those two buildings. Then there's this little bridge that I kind of concocted with foam core stuck out right there. And that's how the road started. So, you're middle of it. Well, that's the idea.
This is what I've accomplished here in the last, 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've worked pretty good on that.
Yes, you have. That's quite a bit of railroad. You got track light and everything?
Yep.
Oh.
He was running trains last night.
And then there's that Central Valley Bridge that I won and put together.
Man, that is the best plastic bridge kit of any sort, period, on the market. The only way you could beat that bridge is $400 or $500 and buy the BLMA brass bridge. The only way you could improve on it, in my opinion. Here you go.
Wouldn't the brass bridge be more too because you have to solder it?
Yeah.
You have to get the resistive soldering iron, right?
But I think that BLMA bridge is an assembled structure.
It's already made. The BLMA bridge is already made.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was just asking. I never heard of it, so.
But it's spectacular. I mean, absolutely incredible. It's a phenomenal piece of model kit or whatever.
They don't make it anymore.
But it ought to be. It's hard to find, but even retail price when it was out was pretty top dollar. I mean, $500 for a foot and a half long bridge.
It's not a foot and a half. It was 3 feet.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, in that case.
There you go. Jim's running the train now.
Oh, what's UP doing? It's up in Evansville up there.
That's what I got. I got a CSX.
I'm messing with you, brother.
Stick with the UP.
Yeah, I'm not a big CSX fanboy either. I like the fallen flags that make up the CSX, but I love the L&N Railroad, the Glitchfield, Seymour Coastline. I mean, all the railroads that made up the CSX were first-class railroads. Like, literally, and also, they were awesome.
And this week I've been weathering N-scale trains, locomotives.
Yeah, so what goes on around here? I get busy and don't come around much for a couple of weeks, and everything just, and Ralph said it hits me.
We've almost got Ralph converted.
I'm
He
so
won't admit it, but
I was fixing to say, what'd you do? Levitate that loco?
He does it. It looks like it's floating. I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah.
It's sitting on the plastic cover. Come on, guys.
I know, but when you first look at it, you don't catch that. You just see.
yeah, on the camera you can't see the plastic.
That's right.
Are you putting flux capacitors in those engines?
Absolutely.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
So Ralph's going to N scale, and Ron Stranger thinks he's going to ON3.
I'm so confused.
I could put about a scale quarter mile.
There might be that, but yeah.
You hear me, Andy?
Yeah, that might be true. But
one day I just woke up and said, you know what? Screw end scale. I'm going for the top.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you're going to
see,
go, you rip the end scale, go low. That's quite dramatic.
Yeah, but the word hadn't gotten out yet, but I heard tell that Marty sold his garden railroad to Andy.
Oh, yeah, I thought, gee, that's it.
along with the Raspberry.
I just put the whole command station right inside. Yeah, I put the whole command station right inside the locomotive. E-scale.
CG says, looks really nice, Ralph.
Thank you.
Jerry, of course, said the flying CSX.
Yeah, you're going to have to let me know where you get those flux capacitors from. I'd like to buy a couple of them.
They won't work in scale.
Oh,
Too heavy.
What you think. That's what you think.
It's too heavy.
I'm an engineer. I'll get it to work. Don't worry. Or I'll break it. Either one.
It'll work, and it'll land him in, back in the, Precambrian era or something without a way to get home. So
what Andy's saying is he wants you to give me one.
That's how you put it. All right.
Pretty bold.
Now, I am curious, Marty, why are you putting the square tube in there?
Hey, what? Who, where? Why? What?
Yeah, why are you putting square tubing down right there?
It's ducting.
It's what?
Electrical ducting. That's where all the wiring will run down.
Oh, okay.
Where's he putting it at?
It's up towards the front edge, but it's in the staging yard.
In the staging yard. That's
staging, so.
It's conduit for the wiring on the Tauruses.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that Canadian square stock, that's a pretty expensive conduit. As far as conduit.
Down the other end there is one of the control panels. So that's got a DAC 20 on it, a couple of DS64s and a VDL 168. So that'll do all the occupancy detection for down the bottom here and control the 23 tortoises that are down here.
Ah, okay.
And then there's another one of those panels goes on for the next deck. The next deck's got all servos. I only use tortoises down here because I had all these DS64s. You can only use snap switches or tortoises for them.
Are you putting the tortoises under the? Oh, you're putting them up top, upside down. That's awesome. That's how I'm gonna do my staging.
Yeah, so the staging's there. So the top deck, the next deck will be on this level here. So you've got plenty of room to get in there and get them out. And I'll have looms coming out of the duct onto connectors. And I'm using
it's gonna be wired better in a house.
Yeah.
I'm using the Pico adapter plates. Push the points. So the tortoise mounts here and moves that one backwards and forwards, and then the push rod arm pushes the point across.
Yeah.
So using Pico Pico turnout mounts for tortoise switch machines.
The old turnout mounts that had the solenoid. Is that the kind of? That's the mount.
Yeah.
No.
You can see that one. The solenoid motor mounts on top of it. It's just the base.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then it operates that push arm, and then I've got an extension arm and all like. So using those screwed down, and then the tortoise on the top, moving it backwards and forwards like that.
Right. Yeah.
Nice, simple, and then you can surface mount your tortoises.
Right, I like the idea of service mounting anyway. It's so much easier to be able to work on. And I actually thought about using the Pico solenoid switches, or at least solenoid switches in my staging yard, because they're bulletproof. I don't like them. I don't like the way they sound. I don't want them out of my visible layout. Definitely with a slow motion operation.
Over here, a lot of people use those Pico snap switches, and or there's another one called Step out of the UK. It's made by Gauge Master. The problem is with those ones, if your CDU unit has got too big a capacitor in it, you'll end up busting your points.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because it's so violent, the action, eventually the moving blade on the point of the Pico points breaks off. And if you use the Pico one, they've got a new servo system. If you use that, that's exactly the same as the A&E one.
Pico has a new servo system, a commercially available, supported, standard servo system.
Yeah, it has its own servos. Well, it's not its own. It's made by a company called A&E. Taiwan.
Oh yeah, I know A&E stuff. They're awesome and inexpensive.
That's the Pico turnout system, but I don't like them. I've used them. I've got a set here, and I've taken it out of a layout. I put it in, and then didn't like it, pulled it out. But this system,
Do you use any of the A&E stuff?
Yeah, I've got an A&E set here. Just trying to.
There's a few other things that are quite interesting at a pretty reasonable price to boot. So
there's the Pico one, and it's the A&E boards. Now, the A&E one, the problem with it is with the Tam Valley stuff, when you set them up, you don't need a DCC system connected or anything. You just use the buttons on the board to set everything up.
Yeah.
With the A&E system, there's your decoder that you've got to buy extra to go with the board, drive the servos, but you need to have a DCC system connected to it to issue the commands to open and close each servo. So when you're setting them up, they're a pain in the backside compared to the Tam Valley one. So that's the Pico one, and it's exactly the same as the A&E one. That's the A&E one.
Yeah, I need to look at that a little more. I got a book from them and looked at their stuff around when they were up at the NMRA National in Indy last year, and I think that's where I got that. And it was pretty interesting, especially considering the price point, and it's pretty much exactly the way I want to do things without having to scratch build all those mechanical parts. I thought about buying a 3D printer, even though I don't think I could create any detailed parts of substance, but so I could build servo mounts and fixtures and stuff like that.
Yeah, this was $105 over here for a smart switch with the DCC decoder and 4 servos.
Okay, and that does 4. So 4 servos.
I can do it for half the price with Tam Valley stuff.
Right.
And have a better product.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty hard to argue with Russell's stuff. I mean, Tam Valley, if they make it, they only make a few things, but what they've got, he really does it right. I love that dead rail that they have. Russell decided to put a plug on it. Thankfully, somebody else picked the ball up and run with it. But, Mr. Rude there gave me an emotional roller coaster for a few days when he's telling me they canceled the thing you love, and then a couple of days later somebody else just took it on. It was just kind of a train wreck.
Yeah, but the biggest problem I found with this A&E or this Pico one was the fact you had to have a DCC system connected to it to drive it. You couldn't drive it off the board, off the buttons on the board, like Tam Valley or any of the others. You'll rock one.
So you have to send a DCC command. So if you wanted a button somewhere, it would have to be it'd have to be the equivalent of a DCC throttle in a way. It would have to create broadcast to DCC.
Yeah, see on the Tam Valley board, there's a button there you push and it toggles it one way or the other. So when you're setting it up,
yep,
you can just push that button on the board and test it, throw the point left and right. With that one, you've got to have a DCC system and send the command to that point address which is a pain.
New Haven Rail said my layout's 100% Pico switches and switch machines. All powered switches are controlled by the dispatcher. The yard master panel control the panel handles they are powered. They power the yard switches.
I've used them before, and I don't love personally. They're harder for me to use. I couldn't use solenoid switches out on my visible layout for a few reasons. One, I don't like the sound of them, but that's neither here nor there. They work. They're bulletproof. They work for decades without much. And they're cheap, small, sticking in the sub-row bed without sticking down like a tortoise. The reason I've opted for servos is because a tortoise is a couple inches deep, and fitting those into the very thin upper deck I want is going to be a problem. So I'm still excited when I started seeing people use servos for this. But for my visible turnouts, they are I hand lay the track and use glue to adhere it, and I spike a little bit. But boy, those solenoids are really, really rough on hand lay track. It wants to pop that hand lay track. You really need a slow motion. But boy, they last forever.
And you want to use them in your staging?
I thought about it.
Your staging is going to be on styrofoam like the rest of your layout. And you don't like the sound. You don't like the sound of it. That'll amplify the sound like crazy.
Well, the staging won't be on styrofoam. It'll be on a dead tree of some sort. So I'm not exactly sure how to do that. What I think I'll do. So part of my staging, the upper staging, goes down. Keep this quiet so the wife's on here. It goes down above the window, above the cabinets in the kitchen, up above the cabinets, through the wall. Goes through the wall right there in that corner, and it goes above the cabinets all the way down, which will let me fit a decent cabinet, about 16 inches. I can fit about 4 or 5 tracks leading. And I think I'll just, frame up something and put 1/2-inch AC plywood or something and cork or something down, flex track and fast track turnouts. And I'd like to mount. I'd either use those solenoids because they're small and sink in, or I'll just use servos or whatever, but mount them on top like Martin does. But the lower level staging goes below the staging or below the layout in here. So solenoids, you'd hear them. I don't love that. Snap, 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 snap.
In other words, Ralph, if we make it over to Andy's house to see this layout, be sure and bring a bowl of sugar pops or snap, crackle, and pop cereal.
Right. Or some swing music that you snap your fingers to. Something. I don't know what I'll use. I'm not sure. I may very well just buy a Tam Valley, quad or something, quad LN board, stick 4 servos, with 4 turnouts, I think, which would be 5, give me 5 tracks, top and bottom. Something like that. But I have 4 effective. I have 3 staging yards, one bottom, one top, and one in the middle where a branch line, or not the branch line, but the clicks down heads off. That one's really weird. It's only 2 tracks going down the hallway. So that has to be quote unquote removable staging. So it's a 10-foot section that was set against the wall, lock into the wall when I'm operating that section, and I'll take it down and slide it under the bed or something when it's not in use, because that's all I do.
Yeah, Dwight over here says the North Metro Railroad Club I was at used homosodes sandwiched sideways in risers. It was very quiet. Also, powered switches have a LED indicator on the dispatcher panel, plus on the mall board showing the entire layout.
Yeah, they use hobosode slide. When I build the large layout in some years, or whenever I expand this one, I'll build my towns exactly like I'm doing this. Anywhere where there's key areas that I would always want to save, or I would want to be able to pull out and replace as whole unit, I'll build them exactly like I'm building this railroad. But the big open expanses of railroad between the towns, and my hope on the big railroad is that I could have a bunch of feet between towns. I'm going to use homosode slide.
Well, he changed it. Yeah, he said not in the risers, on the risers.
Right, it's a slide system where they stick a riser up, and then they you know, and we used to do slide with masonite years ago, and that's people still do, and it's great, it's fine. But if you do it with homosode, your sub road bed, cork, you know, whatever, it's all done. All you have to do is put the slide in there, you know, get it roughly smooth, lay flex on top of it.
So this is what you were referring to earlier, John, about the hovering.
Yeah, your hovercraft.
It's actually hovering off the base.
Yeah, so you act like it was funny that he thought that locomotive was hovering like that because you said it on that clear plastic thing, but you have a precedent of you know, trying to defy gravity in ways. So.
Well, I didn't have the gerbils in place to run the generator to do the hovering for the locomotive, so that's why it didn't make sense.
Yeah, you're a dog person. See, if you had cats, they do double duty when you need them to.
Right. That's right, Dwight. Jägermeister. Yep, all the way.
All right, Bruce says up here, has anyone made small bushes for their layout? I'm trying to model sage brush.
Yeah.
That'll be handy.
Well, there's some commercial ones too. These are, let's see what you can see. These are, I think, Martin Welberg's. These are plant topper. I got some laser cut stuff back in there. But you can get some stuff from Martin Welberg, like, well, this thing don't show it very well, but some really nice vertical stuff. But I've made a lot of bushes using a lot of this stuff, which I still got to color and airbrush stuff and blend this stuff. This is natural oregano. And then I make like, this is supposed to be, or the closest approximation that I can get to like blackberry bushes that grow along the sides of the right of way. You know, there's quite a bit of thickness there to them.
and then it's super. And so what this is just super tree scraps, and I tape off both sides and hit it with spray adhesive, and just take the scraps and ball them up and stuff them down into that spray adhesive, and then and don't put an e-glue on top of it. That way, then you can dust it with dirt, so you can cover up any of the glue underneath it, and then let that set up, and then just come back, lightly brush it with you know, some kind of white glue or Mod Podge or whatever you use. And this has the finest, basically what you'd want for end scale, the finest leaf flake I could get from Scenic Express in a fairly dark color. And I got, you know, and I use a lot of super tree material, like, you know, these back here are like super tree material. Those up there, those are all super tree material. But I've done them with all kinds of different stuff, natural material. But super tree stuff's pretty hard to beat them. It's got that nice finicky. Anybody else use anything else other than that? Like super tree stuff, or?
Well, you can add to that by putting, sprinkling it with static grass before you put your leaf foliage on. Makes it a little bit fuller.
Right.
And, like, gives you smaller branches.
Absolutely. And I did something similar. Selkirk Leaf, that company from Canada, that I'm so fond of, that from Canada, that I'm so fond of their leaf flake material. It's all they make is leaf flake, basically. But I love it. It's the best, and I've got like 6 or 8 different brands. It's the best I've ever come across. It's spectacular leaf material. But they make a branch structure or something like that, they call it. But it's basically paintbrush bristles or whatever. And they say spray the Super 77. I use 5 or 6 different kinds of spray adhesive of different thicknesses to get, you know, different densities. You know, if I want them to be kind of transparent like this, I'll use a different kind of adhesive than I would for some of the trees, like in the background where I want it to be thicker. I'll use the 77. 77 stuff is strong, so you're going to get a very thick leaf coverage with it, and you want to, because it kind of frosts the material anyway and leaves a, you know, the glue on it.
Yeah, New Haven Rails said a friend of his uses old floor polisher disc and pulls them apart, takes those pieces and applies ground foam.
That's similar to old furnace filter stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little bit thicker.
What's that material that, like, my wife uses to clean pots and pans with? It's like that, but it's thin.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about.
I cut those. They make exceptional hedges. Yeah, like an HO scale. If you cut you a little square piece and kind of pull it apart to rough it up, they make great looking hedge, you know, row hedges.
Scotch-Brite pads.
That's the ticket.
The tan bushes there that I had are made out of floral based stuff. It's a, you know, like a wild hair type deal stuff.
Oh, it's like oh, I know what you're talking about. It's one of the plant toppers, but not the static grass looking plant topper that I use for it. That plant topper makes, the static grass looking plant topper makes some of the best of that very moist grass you get that's kind of part, in the real world, it's kind of part moss, part grass. That's the closest thing I can think of. That's something you see in certain areas that are wet. And that's kind of hard to recreate with just static grass. Those plant toppers are just spectacular for that. But they've got one that's like horsehair, or it's not horsehair.
Yeah, it's almost like a horsehair.
Yep.
It's a natural fiber.
And I forget what they call that. They have a name for it. It's like Luke Talent has used that stuff to just exceptional results. So
yeah. Ethanville Bro says seafoam plant. Seafoam plant, your super trees, that's what they're made from.
Yeah, that's
the real plant is called seafoam.
And I'm going to try to grow some of that.
I have some seeds.
I
got them from England.
Oh, really? You got to jump through.
Yeah.
What you got to do?
Yeah.
Can you order from England?
You can.
That's what I was thinking I would do too. This coming spring, I was thinking. I mean, heck, that one little quarter over there is there's over 300 trees. Over 300 trees right there, man. That's a box. That's $140 box of trees in that one little quarter. Plus a whole lot of time. So, but I'd really love to have some natural sea foam. I mean, I scanned the sedum and used that. I mean, that's 300 some trees, and I'm not counting the sedum or the sagebrush trees and stuff, because I've got, like right on the other side of the track, there's some sagebrush trees in here, just on the other side of the track. I use sagebrush, but then I go into the seafoam. The seafoam trees look great, the top of them. They make great bushes, and they make great trees, except where you see trunk. Trunk is just too diminutive, too small. Whereas it's really easy to do, like some of this is sagebrush, like these big ones are sagebrush, here. Some of these are just sticks out of the yard with some super tree material glued to them, so that I can get some thicker trunk and some bark structure to it. So, takes a little time. Okay, it takes a lot of time. And I'd like to find there's somebody's using it. There's numerous people are using a tree or a plant that I can never remember the name of, but it's like sedum, but it's another thing like sedum. And I need to get a hold of some of that. I just can't never remember what that stuff's called.
Yeah, Marty's going to have to get him a couple more cameras. He's got 2 monitors that he's over with. Now he needs a couple more cameras so he can just switch them.
I've got 2 more. I've run out of USB ports on this computer.
Oh, that's an easy fix. You can go up to 128 devices with hubs.
But yeah, I've got another couple of cameras.
Yeah, that's a much better view too. Got the back of your head there.
You got the better side.
Hey, that's the risers coming up with the track where the track ends there right behind you. Is that like 4 or 5 wooden seating risers stacked on top of each other?
It's 2 riser kits. 2 incline kits with a riser kit underneath it.
So that's like what, 12, 14 inches tall, something like that, or a third of a meter or something, however you would say that.
Yeah, it's about 350 mil.
There you are, 350 mil.
So that brings you up from the hidden storage underneath up onto the actual layout.
Boy, that stuff is...
So that's where it changes from code 100 to code 83.
And those risers are, I don't use them, but I am absolutely a fan of those. Would have several times when people talked on here about how to solve a particular problem or what to do about how to do it. Like when Jimmy was talking about getting those risers on the back of his, you buy those things. They're like a CNC laser cut or something. They are incredibly accurate. I mean, I don't care how good a work you do. You're not going to make something that's that accurate. Oh, that's cool.
So there's a feed that takes you to the ramps, the inclines, and then there's a yard lead, which is this one. So over the back of the layout, around the back there's a double crossover. It takes you from that over to here. Then this feeds you into the yards.
And to support that free hanging piece of riser going across there, you just sandwiched like hardboard on each side of it and glued it on or something?
3mm MDF.
Yeah.
With liquid nails, and then just clamped it.
Yeah. Like a little piece of slide right there.
Yep. Using liquid nails, high strength. You got to use the high strength one, and it'll work on the foam.
Yeah, you can't use regular liquid nails on foam unless it's foam or something.
No more nails. It's called No More Nails.
Yeah, Liquid Nails has foam safe products too. They're just two different competing products. I think No More Nails is Loctite brand or something, right?
LePage.
Just same brand down here, just upside down.
Well, they have to write it upside down so you guys can read it. I wish we could sell these products over here. I watch people on YouTube use the Selly spray adhesive, and I'm a fine connoisseur of spray adhesives. I bought a whole bunch of those, and that Selly stuff looks great, really strong, but doesn't fog up like the 77 does.
So I made a little test jig up for the tortoises. I finished off the power supply I built last week.
Oh yeah, you built that?
Yeah, it was a kit that I had hanging around here for about 15 years, so I thought I might as well put it together and use it to go around and test the tortoises.
Yeah.
So I just made an old Dremel container with a toggle switch. Change the polarity. Test my little Pico tortoise amalgamation.
Amalgamation. I love that show.
Sorry?
Nothing.
This is the material I was talking about.
What in the world is that stuff? It looks like a ball of twine.
Sort of. It's like what twine's made out of.
Really? Because I buy sisal twine and strip it apart, cut it in little pieces and strip it apart and plant it. That stuff, that's some kind of filter?
Is it natural fiber or is it polyester type thing?
I think it's natural fiber. It's
Did it come balled up like that, or did you just ball it up?
It come balled up like that in that package. And we found it at Michael's.
Okay, you got to tell us I got to figure out what it looks like. That stuff looks awesome.
I believe they call it raffia.
Raffia? Huh. My favorite turtle was Leonardo, but that's all right.
But
raffia.
I string it out, and cut it off, and dip it in glue, and then I'll poke a hole in the layout, and stick it in there with the wet glue.
So
it kind of looks like, if you put it near a river scene, it kind of makes it look like dead cattails or.
Well, how far away from thread is it in size and whatever? Looks like it's coarser.
It varies. It varies quite a bit in width.
Great, that's awesome. That's much more organic than. See, what I've done is making these, and it was Johnny suggested it does it. I make these little mats of stuff that are supposed to, emulate the plant that takes over on the sides of the highways.
Oh, the thickets.
Yeah. Gosh, buddy, I'm brain dead tonight.
it's anyway.
Why should tonight be any different?
Oh
boy!
He left himself open for that one.
Wide open.
Wait for it to come after I said it. So,
Kudzu.
I was biting my tongue here. I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, that was Kenny. Kenny over here said kudzu.
I don't know why I couldn't think of it, but kudzu is incredibly prevalent even to this day in Appalachia, where I'm on, well, anywhere in the eastern U.S., I guess. But in 1950, it had really taken hold because he started doing it with the interstate highway system that brought it from South America or something like that. I've heard several stories. They were on the internet, so they have to be true. But it sounds logical. But by 1950, they had really taken roots. So there's kudzu around. But I couldn't get the right effect of occasionally there's these loops of vine that pop up and out. And I used some thread, and Johnny suggested, thread loops on it called a, and that worked pretty good, but it's a little diminutive, and the thread doesn't hold. It doesn't have any strength to it, whereas I think that would work better. I think that might make really, really good kudzu.
Here.
Excelsior. Ashland Excelsior. And it's at Raffia, and Excelsior, Raphael.
Raffia.
I know.
It's for putting in like a base. And
I've seen that at the bottom in the bottoms of vases.
Yeah, then they stick their flowers in it and stuff.
Yep. You can get it in different colors too.
Yeah.
Really?
Actual raffia is a natural fiber. It's made from some kind of a palm.
Huh.
Now there's your tree.
It sure is. Stardust gypsum. Yeah, that's kind of like that natural oregano that I like so well.
Well, the other thing you can get is called Caspia, and you get it from places that have dried flowers for floral arrangements.
And Caspia makes conifer exceptionally well.
Yeah.
It's kind of about the only way I know of to make a good looking foreground conifer is with Caspia.
Yeah, don't ever underestimate just randomly going through the arts and crafts stores.
Yeah, there's so much stuff on there. My wife will go up and down every aisle. I hit a few key aisles, but I'm going to have to kind of...
There you go, peel and stick moss.
Peel and stick. Yeah, and I use their it's not reindeer moss or lichen like we would suggest, but they have another material that's like log grass weaved together. And I was trying to use it for something. I bought some tried. I didn't love it. And Miles suggested, run it through a blender and see what you get out of it. Now, that's what I use for forest floor covering in all background states. You know, right into the back, it gives me a thick, dense forest floor effect. Doesn't look great up close, but it's great for back in the back.
All right, before we get too far along, New Haven Rails, let's see, what was it? Was the name of the tree material you were looking for is puffer grass. And how you doing, Andrew?
Oh, we're doing fine.
So you've been thinking again.
You saw that, huh?
Yeah.
What are you working on? Are you still working on the bridge module, or did you take on that track arrangement that looks like some kind of board game puzzle that you're going with?
I think that'll be the next one, that board game puzzle after this is done.
Oh, that thing's it's beautiful. It looks like something that you'd have a bunch of modelers standing around in a circle scratching their hands trying to figure. But it's cool.
I think it would. I mean, that's part of the whole idea behind it is to slow down an operation, slow down the railroads to what they operate more prototypically.
I say that's the biggest mistake we make in modeling is in operations. It is not slowing down enough to enjoy it, you know, forgetting that these machines are big, heavy machines, and if the prototype operated anything like even the most diligent prototype modelers and operators, people would get killed.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you look at that and you look at it close enough, it's you know, you got two main lines crossing each other. It could be east versus west. It could be NS, CSX, UP, BNSF. They cross each other, but they don't cross and they don't interchange directly.
Right. So you have to make several moves to go through it, but it makes the electrical part a little easier, but it gives you some
easier
control over pathing.
Easier? When I looked at that thing, I thought it was going to be an electrical nightmare.
There's no reverse loop. There's reverse.
Y's. There's a whole bunch of Y's in it. Yeah, there is.
Reverse. You cannot reverse through it, and you can, but only if you have a crossover on an adjacent module. Because in and of itself, if you just took the flex,
Andy, have you got your picture that you put up for us before?
Because if you just stuck 6 pieces of the flex track on it and headed about in every direction, you could run trains back and forth through there all the time. They will never electrically reverse. This is the craziest thing in the world. Anybody who hasn't seen this thing, it's.
You have to run modules off the side of it, off all the way around.
Oh yeah, you need to run them in all four because the way it interfaces, it's not one that it would be as valuable if you only hooked 3 modules to it. You know, because they're
more. It's more than 4 points, I think.
Yeah,
there's 8 points on it.
Yep.
There.
That's the craziest thing in the
And
world.
I've had people say, well, you have to do a lot of duck under and everything else. So if you think about it, make it a crew change point.
Good point.
Oh, that's a great idea. I hadn't thought about that, doing that.
Oh, where the heck is it?
Isn't that always the case? When you're looking for it, you can't find it.
Yeah, it should be just one of their most recent photos, too. Oh, come on. There it is. All right, I got to figure out how to do this now.
Well, I can tell you down under it's stinking hot and humid. I just went outside to get a cup of coffee, walked to the house and broke into a sweat.
I'm envious. It's like 29 degrees here.
I'm not envious.
Oh, it's
that much.
Yeah. There was snow on the ground up here this morning.
There we go.
Oh.
It was.
I don't
I'll
like
go
cold weather, so.
I'll go and sit out in the snow.
Just wait till you go to Amherst. Ha, ha, ha. You don't like cold weather.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be out there and play in it or nothing. I'm going to be in front of a heater somewhere.
I don't mind it being hot. I can't stand it being humid.
Andy, I saw flurries this morning.
Oh, gosh. I am not ready for
Not very
that.
big ones, but there are a few.
Oh my God! Why are you guys whining about something you can't change?
That's right.
I hate the heat and I hate the cold.
Well, then you might as well just—I don't know.
Yeah, you're really in trouble. I can deal with the heat.
No way, man. No way, Jose.
Well,
I can always put more clothes on. I can only take so many off.
There we go.
Before you go to jail.
Thanks, Ron.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't find the photo, so I got the thing I actually took the photo of.
Follow from one of the double track main lines, go up to the crossover, go back down, go up the other way, and come back the other direction. Yes, it get reversed, but you're on the other track of the 2-track main line.
The thing is there's 4 more connection points on there yet.
Yes, they're coming off of here, 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 and here. If you think about it, what the whole idea was is actually this interlocking area, which you create is a connecting short line railroad. So you come over here, you put a short little, off any one of these, you put a short transfer yard.
Yeah, yeah.
You get your mainline railroad drop off pickup over there. You get a short line railroad that operates through this whole area, and go off to 4 different industrial areas.
Yeah, that way you're not ducking 3 or 4 times to work your way through the.
And because of all this confusion in here, you actually set yourself up a interlocking operator.
This a prototype of that, similar somewhere at one time.
Well, I always had the idea of doing a hub and spoke. I said everybody else does point-to-point loops, dog bones, point and loop, or whatever you want to call them. And I said I don't think anybody's ever done a hub and spoke, which is very common in the transportation industry.
Well, you're good for regionals. I don't know of any modeler that's built a 30-foot long bridge either. So.
But that's the beauty I like about doing this free mo is because I can build these things and then take them to a show.
Yep.
Versus setting it up in the basement. And part of the bridge, like I say, a lot of this stuff is to show how you can do it instead of trying to set up an entire railroad, build them in modular sections. It's the way we used to build all the auto show displays. Everything was a short section, and you put it all together. And they had to go up fast and they had to come down fast.
We do a lot of building modular, even if you don't build. Even if you don't build your railroad portable, I am a complete believer in building it in sections.
I've helped enough guys, they got to move, or we sold the house and we're moving, we got to tear down the railroad. And it comes down in many, many, many pieces. Nothing that can be saved.
Yeah. And all that
stuff came to me after I moved, I think 5 times in 8 years.
Oh.
So, but yeah, I think this is going to be the next one. It's partly built already.
Well, we're looking at doing something similar to that. We got this idea off the North Texas T-Track mob. We do a lot of T-Track HO, N-scale NHO here. So what they've done is built these center modules. So all the clubs have got a T-Track oval like that. So we've got 8 clubs here. So we're going to make this a complete circle and then have 6 hubs coming off there. And each hub will be a different club.
Now what you got to do, Marty, is you got to add Andrew's thing right in the middle of that.
Roundabout.
So if they build it to the T-Track format, it'll hook up to any T-Track modules. So they just take off, because these guys have got a turnaround that goes on the end here, so they just leave that off and then hook it up to this circle, and they can go from one to another to another. We thought that was a really good idea, so we're going to make that center section the hub and then get all the other clubs to roll up and hook up to it.
That's similar to the Fremo idea then. I just don't know if I'd like all those rules.
There's not really that many rules.
No.
That's the nice thing about Fremo is essentially the your specifications are your connecting endpoint, your height of your rail, and your electrical hookups. That's it.
Well, I mean,
the one what you do in the middle, what you do in the middle is all yours.
Yep. So if you look at my bridge, it's considered one module, even though it is, made up a lot of little modular sections.
The one I was reading their rules on is it has to be viewable from both sides, no view blocks,
I kind of read about that. I understand what you're saying about the view blocks, and basically the Fremo has been set up as an operator's railroad. So if you're into the operation, you want to get up and close and personal, as model railroaders do. That's why they, no view blocks.
I mean, it basically only lends itself to fairly flat modules.
No.
No, I disagree with that. We've got T-track. We've got a T-track modules now. These T-track ones, we don't run back seams in them, so there's no backdrops. So it's the same as Fremo. It's just that there's two modules side by side in N scale, or one module in HO either side. But see, there's smaller ones. There's doubles. There's triples. That pink one there's a triple. This one down there, this yard, is made up of 3 doubles. So, but it's all based on the Kato Unitrack. So right. you set it up to the right dimensions. Instead of having a curve like they've got to turn around on the end there, which they'd probably have it a show on the other end here, we put this thing in, and it allows them to come off there and head into the other layouts.
Interchange layouts.
Yeah. So we've got 8 clubs here that run this format already. So all we have to do is make the center section and then get them to come, and then instead of setting up on their own, we for small layouts, we can 8 small layouts we can combine and get 6 big ones. One big one out of the 6. So. And the beauty about it is these are all on those blow mold tables. So the thing I really like about T-Track is it's down at kid level.
Yeah, that was our trading club's main thing, was make sure it's down low enough the kids can see it.
Yep. Well, these are on those blow mold those plastic blow mold tables. We buy them at the hardware store here. You probably the same thing over there. So yeah.
Yeah,
and because we use a Raspberry Pi, it means we can walk around all around the layout. There's no back and there's no front.
I mean, you'd have, like, if you're going to do a mountain scene or something, you'd have to, do 2 modules, a front and a back module.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I see Kenny here said, I saw a guy display a HO model of the Hellgate Bridge in New York City. That thing was massive. Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, we got through some more of the detail on the bridge.
The never-ending bridge.
There it is. What do we get through there? Got all these on finally. Got all that dental on down below. I still got to make it through all those little arches. I'm letting all those in place. That's the biggest downside to this thing, I think.
But it's going to be nice when you get done with it.
I hope so. Right now I'm trying to get a little bit of the detail into some of the small arches here too. I spent the couple hours making up all the little.
That's a photo of tall timber tramway, and that's based on the T-track principle.
What exactly is T-track?
T-track is a modular standard using basically using Kato track. I'll show you.
Isn't it 12 inch by 12 inch?
Yeah.
And you can set up a bunch of modules on a dining room table.
Yep.
That was the idea, to set it up on a dining room table and be able to take it down.
Here's the Australian T-Track website. So it started off with N scale. So that's your single module, and it'll have one pack of Kato Unitrack will do it. But there's also HO, and here's the modules here, and the track packs that you need to get to put a section of track. So most of our guys make these doubles because they're just on about 900 mil or a metre long, so easy to put into a car and carry on your own. And all there is a standard of where the track enters and where the track leaves. Now I've got 6 of these double modules, but mine, because it's all one scene, I only have these dimensions at one end on one module, and then that one on the end of the 6th module. So it connects up to everybody else's layout, but in between it goes all over the place and does other things. There's a station and a yard and all sorts of bits and pieces. And if you use the Kato Unitrack, it just clicks together and all the connection is just the Unitrack.
Yeah, MR did I think an N-scale T-track setup last year.
They have an HO, but it started off with N scale. So yeah, so these guys took that format and built this modular layout. It's HON3. And those photos were at our train show.
Johnny, you keeping time?
Yeah. Figured I had a late start on technical difficulties, so let it run for a little bit.
Okay.
But we are coming up on 2 hours, so hadn't done a 2-hour gig in a while. So I tell you what, I think we'll coming close to putting this one in the can. Anybody with any last thoughts?
No, I can't think of anything.
No.
Alright, 'cause we really ain't got anything over here in the chat. So we'll go ahead and wind this one on up. I want to say thanks to everybody for coming in tonight. Appreciate everybody over in the live chat. Appreciate all you guys coming in. Marty, good to see you this afternoon. Don't get to see you on the show too often, but
at the day off.
Yeah. But anyway, go to YouTubeMallBuilders.com. There you can check the schedules for the shows. Our Tuesday and Wednesday shows are at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time. The Thursday show and the Saturday live show are at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Also, be sure and click on the eMag and sign up for an email notification when it comes out. Last month was November, so that was dedicated to N-scale. And JD and his team did a good job on that one. Let's see what we got for next week. Get the book out here. Alrighty. Yeah, we got a busy week next week. December the 12th is going to be with Miles Hale. And then December the 14th. Now, yes, I know that's a Thursday, but that's going to be the Fine Scale show. Because December we got Christmas, a lot of people are traveling, so I had to move some shows around. So December the 14th will be the Fine Scale show. And we will air that one at its normal time of 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And then December the 16th will be the Saturday live show with Big Bill and Barry. And Big Bill's special guest. So pretty much next week, starting with Tuesday, we got a show every other night in that one. Then the week after, December the 20th, we'll be into the locomotive shop with Joe. And the 26th will be Ralph's weathering, workbench to mainline. So those shows, into the locomotive shop and Ralph's weathering, will be 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Those are Tuesday and Wednesday shows. So next week's going to be a busy week. We got Miles, we got the Fine Scale, and we got the live show. Ought to be a good week. So I want to say thank you to everybody for coming in, and we shall see you next week. So have a good weekend.